Can you believe the incredible history behind the WNBA? Join us as we take a deep dive for part 2 of this incredible history of the WNBA video. In part 1, we discuss many of the aspects of the beginning of the WNBA, and we highly recommend you check out that video. Now join us as we take another deep dive. In the mid-2000s, many teams started to adopt more of a fast-paced offensive style. This was brought over by former Lakers coach Paul Westhead when he took over the Phoenix Mercury. This high-tempo style of offense for the Mercury took the league by storm and took the WNBA to the next level. Paired with young superstars like Gabby Poindexter, Diana Taurasi, and Penny Taylor, they were able to redevelop the league. Many took this as a signal that more of an NBA style of basketball was coming to the WNBA. The mid-2000s would not only bring an adjustment to play style in the WNBA, it would also bring about many changes to the league. Several teams would end up either moving or folding during the mid-2000s as well. The Sacramento Monarchs and the Houston Comets would both fold due to lack of support from ownership. This would mean those players would be put into a dispersal draft during that time period. The Detroit Shock, a very successful WNBA team, would also move during this time period to Tulsa. The mid-2000s would also bring about a new expansion franchise in the Atlanta Dream, who believed they could have a lot of success in Atlanta with a WNBA team and felt like it was a great fit for an organization. Throughout the mid-2000s, the league began to adjust more and more, realizing they needed young, quality players to have success and to gain more attention. They realized youthful players meant a faster-paced offense like what the Phoenix Mercury had. This would have a domino effect throughout the league, leading to more and more teams being focused on high-tempo offense with high-powered players. This would not only be the best way to have success in the league, but also would bring about more crowds. One could even theorize that the Phoenix Mercury were a leading reason why the WNBA began to have more popularity once the 2010s hit. This style of offense and the change in the overall game in the league brought over more NBA fans. In 2010, the WNBA would once again lose their league president, who would end up resigning. David Stern would put Laurel Richie into the position on May 16, 2011. Prior to this, Laurel was the Senior Vice President and Chief Marketing Officer of Girl Scouts USA. The 2011 season was the best predicament any new leader could ask for. The evolution and changing of the league to a more younger and high-powered offense was an excellent position for success. This would also be paired with the fact that the NBA was in lockout, and unlike prior NBA lockouts, the WNBA would not be impacted, meaning the WNBA would have full advantage of gaining those NBA fans who are fearful that they might not see basketball that season. Players like Tina Charles, DeWanna Bonner, and Candace Parker would put the league on the map, bringing more excitement than ever. The NBA lockout and new and exciting players would bring more attention to the league in the 2010s, leading us into 2013, where the most exciting crop of young superstars would be entering the league. Similar to this season, with players like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, excitement was mounting. The 2013 draft was stacked with college superstars like Brittany Griner, Elena Del Don, and Skylar Diggs. Marketing was very focused on these top 3 players with the phrase, the 3 to see. They would utilize this in almost all of their marketing and advertising, which is very similar to what we're seeing with the organic marketing from the WNBA today around Clark, Cardoso, and Reese. The WNBA has been very good with utilizing their young players coming out of college for marketing purposes, and the 2013 season was a key example of this, similar to what we're seeing today. The 2013 season was one of the most successful WNBA seasons to date. The season would have a boost in TV ratings of 28% and more sponsorship would flow in. All of this to say, the league would have half their teams turning a profit that season. The 2020s would bring some unique changes to the league. The first one we would see would be a new CBA for WNBA players. This would help raise player compensation, change free agency, and a big key factor, they would have a change in the maternity leave for players where they would receive their full salary plus an annual child care stipend. The league would make some real pushes to improve player experience. The league has also focused on better marketing and better availability for its games. For the 25th anniversary, they surrounded their marketing campaign with the concept of Count It, where they highlighted some of the greatest WNBA players ever to play the game. To add more excitement to the league, they would implement a new in-season tournament called the Commissioner's Cup, which would give the winners $500,000, which would be split among the players, as well as donations to their various charities. The league would also sign a deal with Amazon Prime, giving more availability and access to fans. The 2020s also brought about more sponsorship to the actual WNBA players, including a major sneaker deal signed by Natasha Cloud with Converse. Cloud would break barriers by becoming Converse's first women's basketball player to have their own sneaker. Other stars like Sabrina Ionescu would also sign sneaker deals during this time period as well, bringing more attention and more popularity to individual WNBA players. Overall, the 2020s have been a great step in the right direction for the WNBA. More talented players are coming out of college, and the marketing of the WNBA realizes that and have been focused on that. With better players and more popular names, it means that more sponsorship and dollars would come into the WNBA. With the likes of Reese, Clark, and Cardoso coming into the league, there's no doubt, paired with the already superstars in the WNBA, that we will continue to see growth of this sports league. Let us know in the comments below if you're a fan of the WNBA. Do you have a favorite team or player? How do you think Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and the rest of these young superstars from college will do this season in the WNBA? Thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of you, and please give us feedback in the comments below. Believable truths.